Hello there, welcome back to the Once a Week kitchen. Today I'm making Yorkshire Parkin. It's a very old recipe. It belonged to my mother-in-law's mother and it may even be older than that, but I always do think that the old recipes are the best because they've stood the test of time. Yorkshire Parkin, can't beat it. I'm doing it early. We normally eat it in October, but I'm doing it early to give people a chance to get their ingredients together, because these kind of things like oatmeal become scarce round about the time you need them. So, and you do need to make it up to a week in advance really, because it needs time to become sticky and mature. So I tend to make it a week early. So I've got 8 ounces of self-raising flour, 6 ounces of oatmeal, 4 ounces of soft dark brown sugar, a pound of golden syrup, I'll show you that, very famous golden syrup, and I'm standing it in a pan with boiling water because it flows much easier when it's hot. I've got 4 ounces of butter, 4 ounces of lard, a cup of milk, 2 eggs and 3 teaspoons of ground ginger. So the dry ingredients, the sugar, the flour, the ginger, we're going to sift together into a large bowl. The fats and the milk and the syrup we're going to melt together in a pan. We don't want to bring it to the boil or anything, we just want to melt it slowly and give it a good mix. I'm sifting the flour and the ginger through the sieve because we don't want any lumps. Lumps of ginger would actually blow your socks off if you got them into the recipe. So they need to be pushed through the sieve. I'm using the back of a spoon. So now the brown sugar, I'll try and get this through the sieve, because brown sugar is one of those things that does tend to form clumps. We don't want clumps of sugar in the mixture. So that's the dry ingredients dealt with. So while the treacle, butter, lard and milk is melting down, I'm going to beat the 2 eggs. So the golden syrup, lard, butter and milk have all melted together now, and I've beaten the eggs, but if I add those eggs into that pan now, I'll end up with scrambled eggs. So what I have to do is wait until it cools right down before I add in the eggs. So this liquid now has cooled, so I'm dipping in the 2 beaten eggs. Mix well together. And all we do now is tip the liquid into the dry ingredients and give it a good old mix. So basically what we've got here is a batter. So we need to give it a good old mix. Till everything's well combined. So I've greased a tin and lined it with non-stick baking parchment. So I'm going to pour this mixture into the tin and we're going to bake it for about an hour until it's all set. Gas mark 4, 180 degrees centigrade, 350 Fahrenheit. So that's going in the oven now. Next time we see it, it should be cooked. Right, the Parkin's cooked now. When you press it in the middle and it springs back, you know it's cooked. So I shall leave that to cool before I cut it into squares. So I've got the Parkin out of the tin now and I've cut it into 20 pieces. I'm going to pop it into a tin and keep it for at least a week before let anyone eat it, because in that week it will become wonderfully sticky and delicious.